Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate y'all tuning back in. It's 2024. It's time to start something new. Of course, you know that's what everybody does. And so for me, I'm going to move away from my bolt guns for a little while and do something a little different. I'm going to do some videos on the AR15, more specifically, my general purpose rifle. I want to discuss the build, my philosophy on the build, background, things like that. Now, before we dive too far into this, let's go ahead and make sure it's empty. As you can see, there is no magazine. Nothing in the chamber. All right, let's go ahead and dive on in. Before I get too far in the woods with this, before I get too deep in the weeds, let me just go ahead and say that this is going to be a series of videos. This is just going to be one of many that I'm going to do on this specific rifle. I don't think that I can cover everything I want to talk about with just one. And I also want to keep this video as short as I can. So for this specific video, I'm going to be talking about the background, the history of how I got to this point, and then just the overall build. And I'm going to touch on a few things because there is videos that I have done before on different parts of this, specifically talking about the Primary Arms 3X. So a little bit of background on this. One of the very first rifles I ever qualified with in the military was an M16A2. And I actually do remember news articles when the A4 was coming out. Obviously the M4 was already out, but the A4 was starting to make its debut. So it tells you how old and how long I've been around. Clearly I've had a little bit of experience on shooting these and of course the designs of them. Now, moving forward, after I got out, I finally did buy my first AR15. When I got it, it was of course the 16-inch. Now, around the mid-2000s, SPRs started getting popular. The 18-inch SPR just took the market. Everybody was wanting one. So 18-inch became the new standard where all the special guys wanted, all the elite guys. Well, then all of a sudden, we all started moving back to a 10-inch. About late 2000s, I think 10-inch started getting popular all the way down to a 7.5-inch. I didn't get into those at that time. AR pistols started hitting the market right around that time. That's when the brace started getting there, about what, 2012, 2013. Then everybody started deciding that 10.5, 11.5 was the gold standard, and that's where it was at. Well, now, of course, we all know what happened with the brace, and I'm not going to go into that, but I no longer could have my AR pistol, and because of that, I had to go back to a regular AR rifle. Now, because of that, I decided that the 14.5 was the best overall length for myself. The reason is it maintains the 16-inch overall length. I don't know why. A 16-inch is the standard. It's just what somebody has decided. So we went to 16 overall. I went with an Aero Precision upper, 14.5 with a pin and welded muzzle device. So that being said, you can also buy whatever upper that you feel that you can afford or whatever's best for your specific needs. You don't have to go with the Aero Precision. This is just the one that I went with. Now, moving past this, looking at the rifle overall, some of the things that you probably, well, I will say should be a requirement. Optics, a good quality trigger, sling, and a weapon mounted light of some type. Now, I did not go with the highest quality weapon mounted light. I will admit I ended up going with a stream light. I'm not going to tell you that they are the absolute best. I know there is better out there. If you can afford better, get the absolute best you can get. So another thing I know that I was going to talk about was the Primary Optics 3X Prism. Now, I've done several videos on this already. If you want to go ahead and look at it in the links below, I will tell you that it has been a great optic. Now, is it the best optic? No, but it is a very good optic. I have not had any complaints with it so far. The farthest that I have shot with this specific optic was roughly about 300 to about 350 yards. when I had it on my 10.5-inch AR pistol. I made good hits with it. I really appreciate it. The only downside about this is I do not like the BDC style reticle. While I do like the ACSS reticle, I don't like the BDC portion of it. I think that a mill reticle would be a better addition to this. It will be able to help make hits farther out, and it won't be specific to us. It will not be to a specific caliber, I guess I should say. Overall, you want your rifle to be as light as you can possibly keep it. The reason I say this, a lot of guys, they'll attach everything they possibly can to this specific setup. And I think that while that it looks good, don't get me wrong, and it's nice to have all these things, if you're carrying this plus whatever associated gear that you need, and you may possibly be moving over a unknown amount of terrain and unknown distance, this is going to start weighing down, and the more this weighs down, the less that you're going to be able to hold it up for any extended period. For my rifle, it is light as I can keep it. Now, I say this because if you notice, I don't have any backup iron sights. Now, I know this is going against the flow, and there's going to be people that says you have to have backup iron sights. I'm not going to deny it probably might be a good idea, but I don't have them, nor have I felt like I am missing out by not having them. I'm not going to say it wouldn't be nice to have them. I just haven't put them on here, and I'm not feeling like I'm losing anything. Now, next thing I want to bring up. One thing I do like for these, I like the little 10-inch. I like the 20-round mags. They're just, what can I say? As my kids would say, it's a vibe. It just has that old school look. I use the 10 round. Now, while we bring this up, one of the ones I use probably more than any other mag that I use would be this 10-round magazine. As you can see, the finish is almost completely worn off. The reason I use it, well, for the purposes I'm using this, whether it be hunting or whether it be just shooting longer distances, this is a great option for me. A few things that I also want to point out that I have on my specific rifle that you may want to look at for yours. For mine, one of the things I have on here is this extended charging handle. Okay, I like this extended charging handle. It's not that much. I think I found it on Optics Planet for $10, $15. You can actually buy the latch itself, not the charging handle. You can replace it. Don't take but about 10 to 15 minutes if you have any mediocre skill of mechanical, mediocre skill. You can replace that. One of the other things that for me, I really like, and now this was not supposed to be permanent, but since I've had it on here, I really like having it. I put an Arca rail. You can see right here, this Arca rail right here. I use it on my tripod. Now, it's nothing that needs to be on here, and it serves no real purpose for most people. But one of the things that I appreciate for this is I use this as a barricade stop, or I use it as a rest when I'm shooting on something. I don't have to worry about the rifle pivoting, rolling, or anything. Basically I have a rest to set it on. I also can use this portion right here to brace against something if I want to use it in that aspect. It doesn't weigh, but if you maybe an ounce on a good day, so it doesn't bother me, and it's something I'm actually finding good use for. Now, if I find that it does not serve any real purpose, I'll remove it. As a general purpose rifle, I would say this is probably a good setup. Is it a perfect setup? Of course not. You will find that your specific needs will probably differ from mine. Let's wrap this up. This is a great general purpose rifle. You can use this for competition. You can use this for hunting if you so choose, if your state allows that. Thankfully, I live in the free state of Alabama. You can use this for, you can use it whatever you want. If you want to use this as you live on the ranch and you need to control any wild pest, hog control, this might be something, if you're able to make good shots, that is. This is a great rifle overall. I would not ever feel undergunned. I know a lot of people call this a poodle shooter. My scout guys know who I'm talking about. But for me, I've never felt like this gun is going to, I never feel undergunned if I have this. I'm not going to say it wouldn't be nice to have other things, but I don't feel undergunned when I'm using this specific platform. This is, as I said, a general purpose rifle. It's not going to do one thing great, but it will do a lot of things pretty good. It's not built for one specific tasking. This is what I would refer to as a good rifle that you can make reasonably good hits out to, right now I'm able to make it out to about 300, possibly 400 yards. I think for me that is probably as far as I'm going to need to engage anything. Now, if you are worried about alien invaders, this will probably be something you want to look at. If you are still hanging out in mama's basement and you're concerned that, hey, maybe them zombies are going to really do get me for one day, this might be something you want, because you can do CQB going up these stairs. It's compact enough that as you go up, you'll be able to engage them zombies as they're coming down the stairs. As for everybody else, if you find yourself in some place like Ukraine and you feel like this might be something that could help you out, it's, like I said, easily compact enough that you can break this thing apart, put it in your bag, and be able to disappear within a very short period of time. All right, guys, if y'all made it this far, appreciate it. Y'all know what to do. Smash that like and subscribe. Going to be doing more videos on this. This is just my preliminary initial video on this one. Hopefully you're going to see some more, and hopefully everybody's going to like it. I've got some other stuff. Got a lot of stuff, actually. So, see y'all in the next video. Later.